I love you guys. Let me just start by saying that. All of you, each and every squaddy, I love you because a lot is happening at Centre Valley right now, and the UK press, the UK media, Trevor Phillips, and the derangers or the so-called supporters of Sophie Chandauka are quiet because the Sussex squad, we've been digging up evidence, a lot of evidence that's been adding up. I know that the charity commission is still looking into that, but I mean, that evidence is so damning. Now she's arrested Nandi Life Sciences, her company which she used to direct the Centre Valley Funds, the so-called company she co-founded with her brother Tinashe Chandauka. And also you had which the BBBA awards, which also tanked. A lot of things, anything she touches just she's just an agent of chaos, like we said before. So in light of the trustees stepping down, which by the way right now she has two left, and that is Ian Rawlinson, William's henchman, and another woman, I keep forgetting her name. There are only two, and then her so many trustees, even the ones she literally appointed, have resigned. That's telling, but the media is not going to tell you that. The media is not going to announce that. Trevor Phillips is not going to ask or bring her back to the interview and ask, why is this happening? Why has your company just disappeared? What's going on? They're not going to show that because they do not want to admit their discrepancies. They don't want to admit that they. And now there's also a full discourse, a huge discourse right now where people think that Prince William abandoned her. And it's pretty obvious he did. Because we know William has always been jealous of Harry's accomplishments. That is a fact. Let's not debate about that. Why else would he have his own henchman be a part of his brother's charity? And the minute this man walked into that charity and put words into Sophie Chandauka's, everything went downhill from there. And have you noticed he does not want to let go of Centre Valley? William has one aim: to ruin his brother, to brand everything to the ground. And in light of Centre Valley discourse, people are really worried about Invictus Games because they are saying he's going to target Invictus Games next. Invictus Games is it's global and it's massive right now. It's really massive. In February, there's such a huge turnout and they were taking place in Canada. And you had so many countries also joining in. There's I think South Korea also wanted a bid to host the Invictus Games. A lot has been going on. And what's crazy and what's sad right now and what's worrying a lot of people is the fact that the Invictus Games are going to be taking place in Birmingham come 2027. One of the reasons why Harry has been fighting for security is that he is to be able to bring his family safely back in the UK. And I also know with the Invictus Games taking place in Birmingham, UK, that also could be one of the reasons. Because we know Meghan has always been front and center when it comes to supporting Harry's passions. And that one of them is Invictus Games. What Harry has done for the veterans is such, it's so honorable, and no wonder people love him, and no wonder veterans really, really respect and applaud him. He has taken Invictus Games to the next level, and people are so worried because Invictus Game is his baby. With the success, people think that it's just a matter of time until William infiltrates Invictus Games and ruins it like he did Centre Valley. And also back to Centre Valley, there's also another discourse where people think William has just, in light of the BBC interview, and the world is literally paying keen attention to the monarchy, how they're moving, how they're rolling. The world is paying attention to them. So he has abandoned Sophie Chandauka, and Sophie Chandauka is drowning. There's nothing she can do right now and then just to go down quietly. And they also know that the minute she goes yaps to the media, William is going to use the same tabloids to turn on her. Do you hear me? It's typical William. That's what he's done. I mean, if he can do it to his own brother, who do you think you are? If he can do it to his own blood brother for years, someone you just like recently, do you think he's just going to let you go away? You trash his name and walk away? So people think like William right now doesn't want to look like he's really involved in that, because now it's going to raise more eyebrows, which already it did. Because why else would you bring your henchman? And the minute he's there, that's when Centabale tanks. And she ran to the media to yap, used the UK rhetoric of attacking Meghan, bringing Meghan, saying Harry is a bully, because she knew they were going to eat them up. And how else will she know that? Of course, William had to fill him in. So a lot has been happening, and one of my favorite things is to know what you guys think, because if all the videos I've done on Sophie Chandauka has been on investigation, and also so many of you, like in participation with you, and to bring such evidence to light, what we were able to find. So I love and applaud you. So I'm usually on Reddit, and there's a community, an amazing community that is pro Harry and Meghan, and they have so amazing hot takes and things. And when you just read or whatever, you're there discussing, talking, you just learn so much. So someone had this intake, because William went from Africa is mine to now crashing Centabale, and now the fears are he is targeting Invictus games next. And also, I've seen that there's a petition where people want Prince Harry to remove the Invictus games in the UK, especially when he lost the security case. And we know that his father has the power to literally give him the security that he needs, but he has refused to do that. That raises eyebrows on the Sussex squad, and everyone who's pro Harry and Meghan or Harry and Meghan supporters are just super worried. And to be honest, rightfully so, because if this man can go to these extreme lengths to attack his own brother, and his own father can do the same thing, but they're capable of anything. The same brother, his own brother, went to Jeremy Clarkson's show. See, I mean, a man who literally wanted his his sister-in-law to be paraded naked and have fecal matter thrown at her. Why would you do that? And that's why I'm telling you, William is so dangerous. People feel like it's just a matter of time. It's just time he is going to destroy Harry's work with the Invictus games. We are praying that doesn't happen. And also that there's a group of people who think 2 years is a long time, so anything can happen. But a lot of people, based on what I've seen, they're on the side where this track record of the leftover royals and everything they've been doing to harm Harry and to attack Harry day in, day out, they don't see that happening, because it's been years. Harry wants reconciliation, that we know, he's been vocal about that. But also people keep telling him, listen, honey, you just need to let these people go. They don't care about you. Focus on your family and your life. In the US, you just be you. These people do not care about you. Stop. And at the end of the day, we cannot tell him what to do and not to do. We just have to support his decisions and go with it and roll with it. So we're going to leave it at that. So I was on this forum on Reddit, and I saw such insight, like how William has just been jealous. It's a very long article, so I'm not going to read, take. I'm just going to read parts of it so you guys understand. So from Africa is mine to Centabale hostile takeover, Prince William's obsession with controlling Harry's legacy. And this is someone's opinion. It has so many impressions. So I'm going to just read parts of it. So because a lot of this we know the drill. So the implosion of Centabale is starting to look less like a routine charity conflict and more like a deliberate campaign, one built on distraction, contradiction, and royal power games. On March 26th, both Prince Harry and Prince Sisu resigned as patrons of Centabale, the charity they co-founded in 2006 in memory of their mothers. They didn't do it quietly. They made it clear that they stood in solidarity with the board of trustees, who also stepped down. Not because they wanted to, but because they had to, citing an unattainable situation caused by the chair of the board, Dr. Sophie Chandauka. Since then, Sophie has been trying to reframe the narrative in real time, but the story she's telling doesn't just fall apart under scrutiny. To me, it reveals something much bigger going on. The claims, according to People magazine exclusive, quoting a source close to board, here's what happened. When Chandauka came in as chair in the mid-2023, Centabale was in solid financial shape. Prior to being elected as chair, Chandauka served as a trustee for Centabale in 2008 and served for 6 years in that role until 2015 before she moved to the USA. Under the leadership as chair of the board, financial stress in Chandauka skyrocketed. She reportedly alienated one of the major sponsors of the charity's flagship fundraiser, the Chandauka Polo Cup, leading to the entire 2024 event being cancelled. She allegedly hired over $600,000 in consultants to rebrand the charity and launch new fundraising streams, reportedly without board approval, and failed to secure any meaningful new funding. So, and then, like I said, I'm not going to read a lot of it. So Sophie's narrative does not hold. If Harry's brand was so toxic, why did Chandauka thrive for 19 years, even through COVID, global unrest, and royal drama? Remember, Chandauka, prior to becoming chair, was a trustee from 2008 to 2015. She was not a stranger to the mission of Chandauka, who was helping to bring in money that funded the work. Why did fundraising collapse only after she took over? How does she explain alienating donors, cancelling the Polo Cup, spending $600,000 plus on unapproved consultants, and failing to bring in any significant funding? And how does she claim to be a victim of bullying and misogyny while using legal threats to silence trustees and suing the charity itself to block oversight? How does she claim to be a victim of bullying, racism, and misogyny when she allowed herself and Chandauka to be weaponized by trolls to attack Megan, a black biracial woman character? And then there's the William angle. This is where it gets deeper. Harry in Spear made it clear William has long felt competitive over Africa. He even claimed Africa is mine when Harry began his own humanitarian efforts there, leading to furious arguments, even near physical fights. And now, Chandauka, the woman trying to remove Harry's influence from Chandauka, is being advised by Ian Rawlinson, the former chair of William's Task Trust. Suddenly, Sophie's campaign doesn't look like a solo act. It looks coordinated, from the selective tabloid press coverage to William's former charity employee being amongst the first people Chandauka called for help once Harry, Ciso, and the board resigned, to push to discredit Harry's image. You can see the royal fingerprints all over it. So where does it go next? The Charity Commission is officially investigating. The entire board plus the founders are gone, including African trustees with close ties to Lesotho and Botswana. None of the trustees in place at the present moment have ties to Lesotho or Botswana. I suspect that ground level resignations will follow, which they did. And Sophie, she remains in place, leading a charity she claims was being destroyed by Harry, even though she is the one who allegedly blocked its governance, tanked its funding, mismanaged its funds, and threatened to sue it in court. Why Sophie, in my opinion, out of arrogance, decided to hostile take over a charity that no longer aligns with her views on funding is baffling. This isn't a story about charity, it's a story about ego and power. At the heart of this mess is a simple reality, with Invictus safely under his wing and actually protected in the US. Chandauka is one of Harry's legacy projects that ties him directly to the incredible legacy of his mother's humanitarian work on the African continent. Now the legacy is being destabilized, and not by chance. The royal message is clear. If Harry won't return to the royal fold and fully comply to their demands, then his projects will be systematically undermined. And in my view, Sophie's role, whether deliberate or as willing proxy, was central to that plan. I believe Sophie did not yet want Harry or Ciso to resign. The resignations were supposed to come later when the charity became insolvent. Harry and Ciso was supposed to be the privileged princess who would take the fall, no matter what Sophie did to damage Chandauka operations. The goal was to show that Sophie is now saying. Harry's name is no longer effective in the philanthropic world to raise money for humanitarian causes. Harry and Ciso, in seeing Sophie's plan and the other potentially behind the plot, decided the best thing to do was to take a step back to remove themselves from the chaos and make it very clear who is pulling the proverbial strings of the sabotage, Sophie and whoever else aligns with her. As the walls close in, Sophie, contradictions multiply, and public sympathy grows, not for Sophie, but for those who quietly step back and refuse to play a dirty power game at the expense of children in need. The real scandal isn't that Harry and Ciso resign, it's that they had to. You guys are so smart. Like, I'm always in this community. I'm in so many communities. I promise you that's how obsessed I am with Harry and Meghan. So that is someone's hot take, and I totally agree. I was reading it. I could not read entire. It's so long, so I just read some of the parts so you guys get a clear picture of this is just the royal fold doing whatever they can to sabotage Harry. They want him back, whether by force you know, and they are doing everything in their power. And, William is behind this to just ruin him. They cannot stand the fact that he is successful out of the royal family. And that shows people that, hey, you know what? There's life after the royal family. And given William and the leftover royals are known to be lazy, hardly working, yet they're funded millions of taxpayers' money. That is embarrassing to them. So how dare Harry do well? We wanted you to be miserable, to fail, but you're doing well. How dare you? So that is the vibe that's going on, and William is behind this. And now, he has abandoned our girl, and she is drowning in her own mess. She made a bed, let her lie in it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. I wanted to give you that insight, that discourse. Let me know what you think. I love reading your comments. So please, please, please share your honest thoughts. I'm Irad. Please remember to subscribe, to like, and to share this video. Stay safe. I love you, and I will see you in my next video.